What is going on? I'm Zmot, and we do not need to take up space because we are not on the dev build. Now, first and foremost, Season 71 has finished, and my gosh, I surprised myself and did pretty well, to be honest. So on my no instant training account, that is this one, I ended up getting up to 37 out of 80 at rank 20 with only 186 battles, which put me at rank around 400 or so. So I ended up having two accounts in the top 500, which was a huge surprise because I started late and didn't play much. So pretty stoked about that. 67% win rate, almost 68. And the plus side about that is this was a no instant training account that I don't play a heck of a lot, so I should pick up my first global top 500 trophy on this account. I think we'll get jumping in to season 72 in a second here. Let's just use that beautiful, beautiful claim all button. Man, devs, every time a season starts, I love the fact that you added that button. I remember a sneak peek for or a start of season 4 or 5 or 6 where I didn't claim them all and I couldn't figure out, and it was super, super embarrassing. Now, let's see if I've got that decoration. Did it show up for me? Can I now hide some more mines? There we go. So, my first top 500 on this account. I think I now have 3 with that top 500. Don't generally go for top 500, but it's kind of nice to have an extra decoration. Now, season 72. You'll notice that the times are off. We are an hour later, which is going to screw with people's minds a little bit. And before we get into that, do know that Party Island is now active. Do check the cards if you don't have that decoration. This decoration right here, you can get 2 of them. So follow the cards up there if you don't have it. You need to do it right now. The only time it works is when there's confetti in the air, so do go get your stuff. And now, speaking of stuff, let's get going. Now, I am going to lean in on this account. Every season, I do 2 different tech trees. On this one, we are going to go defensive. We're going to load this one up with the flamethrowers, with the machine guns, and we are going to skip the flare and skip warriors and lean into the worst possible meta. Now, I say worst because it hurts me. But we're going to do it anyways because it seems to be working for many, many players. We're going to get our cannons up to tick 4. We are only going to tick 4 on all of our defenses, even though we are leaning into defense because we need to max a troop. Make gosh darn sure you max a troop. And we are going to be maxing, yes, you heard right, tanks. Now, that pains me in a giant, giant way. But I'm okay with that. Sometimes you gotta do things that you don't want to do. We're gonna get our mines up. Then we're gonna go back and figure out what to max next. So we're gonna get our cannons maxed, our mortars maxed, and do be aware that keys are gonna be at a premium. So we don't want to unlock things that unless we really, really, really need them. So we're gonna leave our gunboat low because we don't need to flare anything. We don't have critters yet. Critters are calling our names, but we're gonna keep going forwards. Need to get into that next engine room, which is gonna get us building health, which is gonna make things even harder for our opponents, and we're gonna get bullet and then go for boom cannons on this one. It hurts. Shield generator 3. Reminder, in my sneak peek, I showed the difference between all of these. You want this one. Yes, this one, because it gives you the exact same shield as the one on the right, but there's 3 of them, so you can place them around willy-nilly. And now that that is done, I don't want to unlock anything. Oh, that's the screenshot. So we'll just pause here for a sec, which did in fact crash my game, but now we are going to keep moving and getting things unlocked and rocking and rolling and all of the rest of it. So I'm going to leave my flamethrowers at the bottom, leave my sniper towers at tick 4 as well, and I think that's all we're going to do for the second. Now, let's just double check some things. Okay, went through some bases, had a look-see, and we are going to max those sniper towers, and I am not gonna get those shield gens yet because I want to get into that next engine room level first. Then we will consider shield gens, but for the second, need to build a base just to get 8 keys, which is my least favorite thing in the world. So we are gonna completely and utterly ignore win rates and just throw these things as far back to the corners as we can and hope that people do not have any sort of flare ability. And you know what, I'm not even gonna bother with this base building. We'll just come back as we watch the dudes with the party hats just celebrate. Okay, the dumbest of the dumb bases. Mines around the engine rooms, because warriors are probably gonna be a thing, and then mines just slowing them down, making them go around things. Some cannons, some machine guns, and flamethrowers, and mortars, and bears, oh my. We are gonna load all tanks, and probably not gonna have the gunboat energy to drop them, but let's just double check here. Tanky tanks do take up 8 unit size. What size are our landing crafts? Our landing crafts have 26, so you might be able to get away with tick 4 landing crafts, maybe, to save some tokens, but nonetheless, we are gonna get going, and our tanks are gonna cost 3 each, I do believe, or I mean 2, sorry. So anyways, we're gonna need 48 GBE to drop them all, if math is right. It is early in the morning, so probably not. We're only at 34, so we're gonna give that a couple bumps just to try to get that up to exactly where we need. Tick 4, we have used all of our upgrade tokens, which worries me a little bit, but hopefully that's gonna help us get all of our tanks dropped. We will find out here. And of course, this person has all of the defenses in a giant blob. Not a huge surprise whatsoever, but we are just gonna drop all of this stuff on this ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll drop one of you in there just to try to be clever. And do I need rifles? I have no idea. We have tick 1 medkits. We've got some rifles hanging out, sending out front, trying to get shot in the face, maybe to clear a couple mines, and then we'll drop one more boat as they get slightly closer to things. Kind of doubt that we actually need any rifles because, as you saw there, they are not lasting super duper long, but here comes the proper rifles. These are the guys that actually are going to be helping us a little bit, and they are going to be walking out in front into the cannons. The cannons are the #1 concern for us. We have no flare, so there's nothing we can do here. So do be aware that people are probably going to be force closing at this moment. So if all of a sudden you see all the engine rooms go down super duper quick, you should know exactly why that is the case. Now, we are probably going to lose a couple here to people who have invested in things like shield gens, but I am fully okay with that because we will be in 4 engine room, and I stress this every season, but don't fall into the FOMO trap. Boom cannons and shock mines and bullet and building health are going to get us ranking up. So if we lose in rank 11, it is not a giant problem. They beat us by 10 seconds, our base is not great, and we don't have a lot of wiggle room here in this rank, so I really want to claim in iron, so I probably should build a better base. A little bit of alliteration there, but I just can't be bothered, to be completely honest, and so we are just going to go for it. And I think I'm going to get rid of those rifles. I don't think those rifles did anything of use for us. This person does have some tanks, some cannons, but I'm just going to go full, or maybe not full. I'm going to go, because we don't have instant training on this account, can't go full, but we are going to go all of our tanks early on. Need to get our tanks going. Once we get through a bunch of those mines, we're going to drop some rifles on that left-hand side because they do have 4 cannons over there. So we'll get that going, but for right now, it's just hanging out and chatting with you guys. So hopefully you guys have started this season. I am still going to be sitting out my other account that I got to 24.50. You can sit out multiple seasons. That is something that people are not super duper aware of. It's not just one, but then you can't open the game, which is extra not fun. Might as well throw some medkits because we got nothing else to spend our GBE on. Our rifles are a tiny bit late, which is not ideal, but they are starting to arrive. which is going to keep some of our tanks alive on that left-hand side, which should get us onto that next engine room. The worst thing we could do here is fizzle, and I really, really doubt that's going to happen, but we are going to lose, and we are going to lose until I can get into that 4 engine room level, and then at that point, at least, like, yes, we're using tanks, but we're getting times of, like, 241, which is not super-duper awful, but it really, really sucks to just watch your troops walk up and have no control over what the heck they're doing. So, do use rifles. Send one boat in there just to distract those cannons. You probably want to put some tokens into them, but I don't have any tokens. So, 253, and let's see how these people are walking through the base. Let's have a quick look-see here. I assume, yeah, they're just dropping on the right and walking through it. Rifles with heavies makes me puke in my mouth a little bit. Even more than using tanks, to be completely honest. This person has way overcommitted on things they're using, but it worked to beat me. So they're going in that top path. They're going to get building damage, probably heading for Kavan. Just a reminder, whichever engine room you pick, that is the deck you get. So we are sending this direction, and this might just be my final engine room. We'll find out, but we can get to that through the mortars. Don't have to worry too much about going through and getting a second here or anything like that. So, you know what? We're going to end that video right there. Get into 4 engine rooms and get rocking and rolling. Check the sneak peek to make sure that you know which of the engine rooms you want. I'm going to go get building health, then going to get bullet and make my way towards those boom cannons on this account. On another account, I am very much streaking towards rocket choppas because they look to be a lot of fun, but you got to get that tech level first, which is going to be a problem. So, very, very interesting season. I have not heard anyone talking anything positive about it yet, but on the plus side, you do go get those boom boxes, and I hope that a bunch of you got your first Warships top 500 trophy. Picked up 2 myself. Super happy about that. Was a little bit heckled in my comments for sitting a season out, but managed to get into the top 500 almost by accident. So, hooray. Anyways, that's it for me. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.